guys, JD here with the Yamaha FX SVHO WaveRunner, and today I'll be installing the Riva Racing ride plate for the Yamaha FX. Now, why did I purchase this ride plate for such a new ski? On basically my first ride taking this ski out, I noticed it had a very bad porpoise. And by porpoise, I mean that it kind of bounces up and down. And moving around on the seat and playing with the trim, you know, smoothed it out a little bit. The guys at Riva were pretty confident that this plate really almost fully takes care of that porpoising issue. So anyway, installing this plate is very, very easy. I'm gonna get it in here in about 15 minutes and I'll show you how to do it. And then I'll take this ski out and we'll see how it performs. You can see, of course, in my pre-break-in video, I sealed this gap here with silicone. Of course, I'm gonna have to break that seal now. But I did move my ski backwards a little bit on the trailer, and that's so that I can access the ride plate here. All right, so here we have the Riva ride plate, and here we have the OEM ride plate. Okay, so from front to back, the OEM plate is 37 centimeters, or just over 14.5 inches. The Riva plate is just under 16.5 inches, or about 41.5 centimeters. And then it's interesting here, you can see where this part of the casting is with the ramp on the stock plate here. So it starts, you could actually feel right here is where it starts. So the ramp is, let's call it 6.25 inches or 16 centimeters. The Riva plate, it's got a real, a lot of sloping area. We could call it 10 inches is the actual cut for the slope of the ramp. It's actually kind of hard to tell where it actually begins because it's just the whole plate is just a continuous taper towards the edge here. So here is your OEM plate and then the Riva plate. Now the OEM plate is a mill finish aluminum. It's actually built pretty well, pretty solid construction. The Riva plate is made of aluminum as well, except this one has a marine powder coat finish. So anyway, let's get this Riva plate installed and let's see if it actually does address the porpoising issue that exists on the Yamaha FX WaveRunners. Now, I've talked to guys that own both the HO 1.9, the HO 1.8s, the SVHOs. Pretty much everybody knows that these skis have a porpoising issue. Luckily, with the right ride tuning, it is easy to adjust. It's just a little frustrating that they come from the factory with that characteristic. And the Yamaha's easy, it's just these 4 bolts. These look like they had red Loctite from the factory. Riva's instructions, they want you to use blue Loctite. For now, I'm not using any Loctite because I'm still adjusting my shims. And once you get those shims where you want them, I suggest you follow the Riva instructions and use blue Loctite. Because I ride in salt water, my experience is that I don't ever need to add Loctite to any of the hardware that touches the water. It just causes the bolts to seize. But in that matter, I suggest that you follow the manufacturer's instructions and don't listen to me. So these are not really shims, they're washers. But we will be shimming the plate. They're 3/16 washers. Really what you want to do is put the plate on without any washers, ride it, see how it behaves, add a single washer, ride it, see how it behaves. Add double washers. You can't add more than 3 on each side, according to Riva. So obviously this installation is very straightforward. What I did is I put the 2 bolts in the front of the plate in by hand first, and then I'm gonna put the rear bolts in. Now you don't wanna bend those bolts, so you wanna support it, and then you're gonna go ahead and install these rear bolts. All right, so each bolt here needs to be torqued to 12.5 foot-pounds. Perfect. But you could see that we've got a pretty decent gap right here now. And it's going to be a little more of a challenge to fill it in because the Riva ride plate is at a slightly different elevation. And I'll try to get you a look. There you go. It's a slightly different elevation than the intake right here. So even if I put silicone here, it's probably going to end up getting pulled off. What a lot of people will do is they'll get the Riva intake grate as well. And evidently that has a tighter fit right here. All right, so that concludes the installation of our Riva Racing ride plate. Now the next step is to get out on the water and test the plate and then shim it as necessary. All right, let's hit the water and see how this plate performs. I will tell you that in this video, I have already shimmed the plate. You can see that the silicone is there sealing the edge of the plate. 2 shims was the magic recipe for me, and you'll see in the following video clips, the ski basically does not porpoise at all with those 2 rear shims installed. Some people will need no shims at all. In my case, 2 shims at the rear of the plate on either side was the perfect recipe to reduce porpoising. Now, will that reduce my top end speed once I install the Stage 1 tune? It's completely possible, so stay tuned for those results. This is not a part of the official Riva instructions, but I like to fill in all these gaps with silicone, so once you get your shims set up just right, go back and add silicone to all the gaps and give those bolts a final check. Okay, so now that I've got my 2 shims in place, I've confirmed that that is the right amount for this ski and for the conditions I tested everything in. So now we're gonna go back with our torque wrench and we're gonna check all those bolts, and we're gonna make sure that every single bolt is torqued to 12.5 foot-pounds. There you go. After cleaning the surface with alcohol, I applied marine silicone around the entire edge of the plate, filling in all of the visible gaps. Will this actually impact performance? We will see. So does the plate perform as advertised? Absolutely, it does reduce porpoising. This is shown from the video evidence and the clips that I've provided. I absolutely do feel that this plate greatly improves the ride on the FX SVHO. So as part of this testing, I was able to ride side by side with Tommy from Tommy T's Adventures. He's got an FX Cruiser SVHO. Both our skis are brand new with less than 10 hours. The only difference mechanically is that I have the Riva ride plate. So we were playing around in the lagoon here. I gave Tommy a bit of a head start, and then I punched the throttle on my ski. There was no debate at all, and it was extremely apparent that I was able to power through this light chop at a higher rate of speed with less fatigue with the Riva plate.
The only difference between yours and mine right now is the Riva ride plate.
And you got me at the top end.
I was gonna say, I think it really is good when you're going through that chop.
Yeah.
For me, the results are crystal clear, and that's that this Riva ride plate greatly improves the handling and reduces porpoising on the FX SVHO. Everybody will need to tune the plate a little differently with a different number of shims, so that will be a bit of a back and forth, but I promise you, once you get it right, the results are easy to see. Hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching. Special thank you to Riva Racing. Visit them online at rivaracing.com. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more exclusive jet ski content, only on JD's Water World.